Hi guys, it's Heather from heatherchristo.com, and today we are making sunflower butter cookies. One of my first memories as a child was of cooking in the kitchen with my mother, and we would bake peanut butter cookies. And I can still remember rolling the dough into balls and then coating it in sugar, and those wonderful cross-hatch marks that come from the tines of the fork that you always put on top of a peanut butter cookie. And because I wanted to share that experience with my daughters, even though they can't have peanuts, I recreate the whole thing with sunflower seed butter. It's a really great alternative to peanut butter especially, but really any nut butter if you have an allergy. To get started, I'm first going to take some vegan butter that is at room temperature and pop it into a standing mixer. Then I want to add a cup of brown sugar. I find that the brown sugar gives it a really wonderful kind of caramely flavor, and it makes them a little bit chewier. Then we've got a half a cup of white sugar. I'm going to turn this on. And then I'm going to add the sunflower seed butter. So I like to use about a half a cup. We've got to make sure we really have great sunflower seed butter flavor. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla, about 2 teaspoons. And then I'm going to sprinkle in xanthan gum, kosher salt, and baking soda. I like to cream this together until it's really well incorporated, and then scrape the sides down before I add the rest of the dry ingredients. In goes our all-purpose gluten-free baking flour. That's 2 1/4 cups. So you wind up with a fairly crumbly, a little bit dry dough. So I like to add about 2 tablespoons of coconut milk, which is just enough to give it a really nice creamy texture. Now for the cookies. So I love to have a really uniform cookie. Of course, you could just roll these into a ball straight away in your hands, but I use a cookie scoop and get a rounded spoonful and then roll this through the sugar so it's really well coated. Okay, when you have all of your cookies on the pan, I go through with my hand and just smash them with my palms so that they're flat. Because the gluten-free baked goods don't always rise and spread in the same way that traditional baked goods do, I like to give them a little help. And then I've got my fork to give them the traditional hatch marks that you get on peanut butter cookies. I love how it gives them that same effect. This was my job when I was little. I always got to do the fork tines. Okay, that's it. So now we're gonna just pop these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 12 minutes if you like them chewy, and 14 minutes if you like them crispy. So we've got our baked sunflower seed butter cookies. They look so good. They have those beautiful cross-hatch marks and that little sprinkle of crispy white sugar. I have a whole platter of freshly baked sunflower seed butter cookies, and I know that any second my kids are gonna come looking for them because it smells so good in here. And I have to say, look at how chewy that was. Can you see that? You've got to make these as quickly as possible. Head on over to heatherchristo.com for the full recipe.